Chairman Rogers, Ranking Member Smith, distinguished committee members, it's an honor to appear before you today to testify on the state of affairs of the United States Africa Command. I'm proud to testify alongside my dedicated colleagues, General Kurilla and Assistant Secretary Wallander. Now, I assumed command last August, and since then, I've embarked upon a campaign of learning. And over the last 7 months, all to inform this discussion today. I undertook this campaign of learning to fulfill my commitment to this Congress and complete a holistic assessment upon confirmation. Now, I made that assessment, and I will continue it throughout my tenure of command. Up front, I want to make one thing crystal clear. The team of service members and civilians at AFRICOM is a talented and dedicated body. I'm honored to serve among them. I'm joined today by my State Department Foreign Policy Advisor, Mr. Phil Nelson, who represents the exceptionally skilled diplomatic team embedded at our headquarters. Our entire team is laser focused on implementing our whole of government approach with our partners from the Department of State, USAID, the intelligence community, and other U.S. government organizations. We campaign with our allies and partners to advance mutual interests and promote stability and prosperity on the African continent. You should be proud of their efforts. I know I certainly am. Africa is a vast and dynamic continent of sovereign nations. Collectively and individually, these nations are increasingly important players on the global stage. And as such, AFRICOM's contribution to American security must be viewed through a global lens. Threats once contained on the continent are transforming into worldwide threats. Terrorism, poverty, food insecurity, climate change, and mass migration shatter African lives. They sow the seeds of violent extremists and Russian exploitation. The Kremlin's invasion of Ukraine has aggravated the food insecurity crisis in Africa by blocking vital food shipments to the same nations that feel the deepest impacts of climate change. Russia's Wagner mercenaries turn chaos into cash and destabilize entire regions across the African continent, and it cuts at American interests worldwide. The expansion of Middle East-based violent extremist groups such as ISIS and Al-Qaeda, including the biggest franchise of Al-Shabaab, threatens American lives. Solutions to these colossal problems must be a shared burden. African nations need to be at the helm of the concerted international efforts to produce sustainable outcomes. Assisting African nations in achieving their goals while advancing American interests can only be accomplished through a synchronized whole-of-government strategy. We call it the 3D approach, which is the toolkit of diplomacy, development, and defense. But one tool does not succeed without the whole kit. So I will advocate for State Department and USAID partners to receive the resources they need to succeed. Now, Africa faces many challenges. However, putting Africa's needs at the forefront of our campaign, reinforced by multilateral and whole government engagement, will help AFRICOM and our partners work towards a sustainable peace, stability, and prosperity. Chairman Rogers, Ranking Member Smith, and distinguished members of this committee, thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here today. I look forward to your questions.